silenced. Hopefully Amanda and Frank can join us, but if they don't, we've got 5, so we have a quorum. Has everybody had a chance to look over the November 3rd minutes?
Yes.
I was not there, so
I'll make
if
a motion.
there's no questions, yeah, but it have to be somebody else. Ursula,
Make a motion to approve.
Clem, second.
I'll
All
second.
those- Oh, go ahead. Clem, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, November 3rd minutes have passed. Do we need to swear any speakers in tonight? Okay. Yep. For the applicant, if you could swear in with Charlie there?
Do you swear affirm the statement you're to make tonight to be the truth to the best of your information and belief?
Do.
Thank you.
And have you gentlemen signed in on the sign-in sheet as well? Can you fill that out as well, and we'll be all set? And I'll get this signed for you, Charlie, and pass it down. He needs to, does he need to sign this one from the last meeting? His name's on there.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
please.
I need
Yeah,
to-
that'd be a good idea.
So these two right here, since you were at the last meeting presiding.
These are developers, who are they here?
The postponed, wait a minute. Postponed, this is postponed. Ooh, 25, 24 is postponed.
I just got this today.
Oh, doesn't match mine.
That's funny.
Wait a minute, what do I got? I got 20 and 23.
All set?
Yep, here we go.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Got
You're welcome.
big, totally different.
Charlie, is that okay? You don't need me to initial or anything?
No.
His is good? Okay.
Not the same, this is the county.
And then with all that being good, we'll
But I got
move to our applications. We have old application on there.
Four-letter word to myself, but just assume it's there.
If you guys want to take it away, possibly. Everything good?
Probably-
No?
I've got your county packet.
Maybe?
Rhett's looking very inquisitive, but
Meeting's on.
at least take it away.
Yes.
So we only have, our first application is old business. It's
Yeah.
GS 2025-20. Variances to the maximum number of wall signage, sign area, sign location for a proposed grocery store and retail location at the property, and it has several addresses. It's 1938, 62, 98, and 2010 Frankfurt Road. It's been consolidated, so a lot of these addresses are kind of floating out there still with the property, so for the purposes of clarity, I just included all of them in this. It is a split zone parcel with the frontage along Frankfurt Pike being zoned B2 highway commercial, and the remainder of the property being zoned B5 general commercial park. We're looking at about a 12.1 acre portion of a larger 47.46 acre property with several direct access points off of McClellan Circle, Frankfurt Pike, and Fincastle Ferguson Way. And then the nearest RTO would be either McClellan Circle or Fincastle Ferguson. This is the general vicinity to the north of the site. So on the other side of Frankfurt Pike is Western Elementary and the Great Crossing Schools campus. To the south is the Northside Christian Church, and then kind of catty corner to it is the Canewood Golf Course and development associated with that. This is our kind of lineup of all of our property zoning that is annexed into the city, and as I've stated, the darker pink coloring is the B2 portion, which fronts along Frankfurt Pike, and then the remainder being that B5. In October of 2024, an application was submitted by Hogan Real Estate, now operating under Elkhorn Village Center, to develop the site with a 56,000 square foot grocery store with an attached liquor store and a 7,500 square foot retail building. Those are the only cases that were, or the only items that were reviewed in the case, specifically PDP 2024-46. And this is a zoomed out kind of illustration of the site with the zoomed in portion here. The grocery store being the larger square and the smaller retail building being the smaller square. You can also see several of the access points along the way. And this application pertains to only these two buildings, which are the only buildings that we have on this general site which have been approved for preliminary development plans. They are requesting relief from our wall signage requirements per our City of Georgetown sign ordinance. I will get back to this in a moment, but I just want to identify that this is, the area with the chart that is in orange is our existing regulations, and then the area with the cube, both of which are included in your guys' packets, is their request. When we're reviewing variances, we refer to KRS 100.243, which lists findings necessary for granting variances, which states that before any variance is granted, the board must find that the granting of the variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, welfare, would not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause hazard or nuisance, it would not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of zoning regulations, and in making those findings, the board shall consider whether the requested variances arise from special circumstances which do not generally apply to land in the vicinity or same zone, that the strict application of the provisions of regulation would deprive the applicant of reasonable use of land or create unnecessary hardship, and that the circumstances are the result of actions of the applicant taken subsequent to the adoption of zoning regulations. I've kind of highlighted the key kind of items, the kind of call-outs that we're kind of looking at when we're doing all of our variances reviews in the slide for your guys' reference. Just a general kind of additional cursory thing, it is the applicant's responsibility to just provide evidence justifying the findings of fact and that satisfy KRS 100.243. And we need that findings component with that substantial evidence. Otherwise, the decision can be deemed arbitrary, and so that's why we go so detailed in on these. This is screen grabs from the meeting in October of 2024, which include the proposed renderings at the time of their development approval. So they have their kind of grocer frontage, and all of that kind of general detail, as well as their side and rear facade components here. The lots in question is unique in that it is a multi-tenant, multi-lot commercial development project. There are several outlots that will be located along Frankfurt Pike, which is along the top of the page, and along McClellan Circle, which is on the right side of the page, that will separate the retailers in the middle from from the vehicle motorists that are going through the area. And the grocery store is proposed to be 800 feet from McClellan Circle and 300 feet from Frankfurt, while the retail building is partially blocked by the grocer due to their kind of general inline facades, and that will be located 800 feet from McClellan Circle and 750 feet from Frankfurt Pike. While the outlots are not developed at this point, commercial development is right in the zones, and so we would anticipate some more commercial activity filling up those areas between their kind of where they're located in the road that they access and where the roads are where the users would be getting to the site from. Our existing sign ordinance does not consider an internal access road separating retails from large arterial roadways nor commercial developments with outlots between anchor tenants and the roadways that largely serve it. And ultimately, staff believes and finds that the application satisfies the requirements of KRS 100.2143, item 1A, which is the special circumstances. Again, citing that unique kind of site layout and design. Secondarily, staff finds that the application satisfies the requirements of KRS 100.2131B, wherein the commercial developments rely heavily on visible signs for customers to identify activities on the site and make safe turning movements, and in a manner that would not impact the other motorists on the general area, as well as just overall kind of have a very kind of unified, clear design activity or design and activity indication on the site. The concept of an adjusting square footage allowance of attached signage based off of a facade size is not considered with the sign ordinance, but it is considered and compatible or deemed compatible with the style of development of this, where it is that large retailer with those kind of varying size facades and kind of proportionally applying it. The current regulations, as I've say here, just list that wall signage is calculated based upon your road frontage, and no other signage is allowed in that area, and that furthermore, depending upon the zone, your kind of allotment of signage is based upon your linear foot of road frontage, with a maximum of 150 square feet on any of the sides which qualify for road frontage, or qualify for wall signage, which are those which adjoin road frontage. So in this instance, wall signage would not be permitted at all along the west or south boundaries. And in addition, as I've stated already, it would be at maximum 150 square feet for McClellan Circle side and 150 square feet for the Frankfurt Pike side. There instead, as I'm kind of shown here, it's going to be more detail in your guys' packet. They've shown that sliding scale mechanism where the size of the facade and the area that it encompasses dictates the signage in order to create that kind of proportional, consistent design component. They've also included provisions that no sign shall exceed 500 square feet at any given point. So if it happened to be a rather long building with a very large facade area, we would not have a very large 500 or 600 square foot sign. We'd be keeping it at a reasonable scale in order to not also overwhelm the building. After all of the review of the request, staff makes 7 findings. First is talking about the general kind of characteristics of the site. Second has to do with the approved preliminary development plan, PDP 2024-46. 3 just has to reference the location in the ordinance in which they are now seeking relief. 4 speaks to the kind of characteristics and how the site is being proposed to be developed in a little bit more detail, specifically how the roads internally and externally kind of come into play and interplay upon one another. 5 and 6 have to do with the applicant's request and its comparison to state statute requirements, which are here. And then item 7 has to do with the statement that the approval of the variance would not negatively impact public health, safety, welfare, nor would it create a situation that is not in line with the general character of the vicinity, nor does it constitute an unreasonable circumvention of regulations. Ultimately, staff finds that through these findings and the analysis done in the report, that the requested wall sign variances satisfy the state statute language that is required to be considered by the board when reviewing variances, and ultimately recommends in favor of the requested variances to the wall signage requirements for the city of Georgetown to allow for that sliding scale of attached wall signage for the building facade of the grocery store and retail building. Do you want to state very clearly that this has been requested for these 2 users? So additional, anything else, whoever else maybe, they are not included in this request as they are not being considered for development. Their description of request only references these 2 buildings, and the report is only written for those 2 in mind. There are 5 conditions of approval associated with this request. First is they listen to all of our regulations. Second is they listen to everybody else's. Third is that they are still required to comply with all conditions of their preliminary development plan, which I do have copies of their report here if we need to go through any portion of that. Fourth is if they need building permitting, well, they need building permitting, sign permitting, electrical permitting for internal illumination. They need to get all those taken care of before they start constructing any signage on the site. And 5 is that if there's any changes in the site or any changes in operators on the site where they need alteration to their conditions or anything like that, they need to return to the board before they go forth and start putting up signage that does not operate either in line with the zoning or the zoning ordinance, sign ordinance, or in line with their conditions and their variances that they've been are being reviewed and requesting today.
Anybody have any questions for staff? I think the only question I had is, do we have like a specific measurement of what the signs are gonna be, what sizes they're gonna be?
I'm gonna look to the applicant who may be able to speak to
Okay.
any of their proposals.
Because
that
you
they've
mentioned
seen so
like
far.
was it called a sliding scale?
Yes.
So what would that entail exactly?
So their sliding scale that they propose is similar to another site that they are working on. where the area of the facade dictates the number of signs that can be placed on that facade, so how much area they can get
Right.
on each one, and then their maximum sign area. So if they have a 500 square feet amount of facade area, you would anticipate that they would have 3 signs for that one facade, and that the maximum sign area is 100 square feet plus 15% of the facade area added to that for each individual sign itself. So if
Okay.
it was just 500, you'd see 3 signs, each with 100 square feet per one of those signs. And then it just kind of adjusts accordingly going on from there.
Okay.
Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically this, this,
Yeah.
What we had
Essentially,
there.
when their sign requests are submitted to the building inspection office, they can request it from us, building that is, or they can provide that themselves and say, this is our variances that were approved, here's our scale that we're going to be utilizing in order to calculate what is an allowed sign in this location.
okay.
And then evaluate accordingly from there.
Any other questions? Anybody like to make a motion?
We also have the applicant here.
Yeah.
Questions about
Or if there's any questions for the applicant, if they need to speak? What?
Do we have any?
Oh, is there anybody else besides the applicant that wishes to speak? Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor, the motion to,
Approve.
okay. I'll second that.
Yep.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes as presented by staff. Thank you. Thank you all. Did you want to go ahead and, anything else?
So there is one item under.
Yeah, did you want to go ahead and go to the new?
Under new business that
Yeah.
is also being considered. I will let the applicant also testify for themselves, but we have received correspondence from their attorney requesting postponement to January meeting, which you guys have our new schedules, so you guys can tell me when. I believe it is.
Okay.
Specifically, January 5th is the.
Right,
is the
if we approve for January 5th meeting on new application letter A, postponement,
If we approve the schedule
if we
for
approve the
year,
schedule, yeah,
then yes, that
Right.
would be the date that this meeting would be held, and
okay.
without anything else going on, we would anticipate that
Yeah.
that case would be brought up at that point.
We don't need to, do we need to make a motion on that for postponement or anything? Okay.
The chair can just do that, just grant the thing.
Yep. Yes, that is granted, postponement to the January meeting pending approval of the calendar for that date of January 5th, 2026. Do we need to do anything with B on its postponement?
No.
Okay.
It's been postponed prior to the release of the.
Okay. Okay. Anything else for old or new business from staff?
I do have administrative business, other business specifically. We've sent you guys, when we sent out the packets, the list of the projected meeting dates. And then we've since filled out the lovely table here for the schedule for the upcoming year.
Yep.
If there is not any objection, we would need a vote or a motion and a second to adopt the 2026 schedule and application deadlines document for the board.
Yep. Has everybody had a chance to look over those? Have any questions pertaining to it?
That's good.
You had indicated originally that the September 8th was subject to change based on what people fed back. I assume that you haven't gotten negative feedback.
I have not heard anything. In the past 4 years that I've been monitoring the boards, the Labor Day week is always just Monday is off, Tuesday is the meeting. However, in this instance, kind of, it would be like with the way that the month lines up, if we needed it for whatever weird circumstance, I mean, you guys can always dictate that we'd not like to meet on the 8th and would rather the 1st or a different month. So I kind of left it open to the board with the understanding that we've typically just done the Tuesday following.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion on the 2026 calendar? I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 calendar as presented by staff.
Second.
Okay, Jeremy, second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes for the 2026 calendar as presented by staff. Does anybody else have anything? I kind of wanted to bring up some things for 2026 just to make sure we were ahead of schedule on things. We've always done she brought up to my attention that we've always done the positions in March. Is that something we should keep going, or should we adjust that to January or February to,
Way back when, it actually was in the bylaws. I couldn't swear to it.
that it was March?
That it was a meeting in March.
Oh, okay,
So we
okay.
did that.
That's fine, yep. That's fine, that's why I wanted to clarify. So we can do that in March's meeting for the, making sure everybody's on the board for 2026 and what positions. Was there any other things we had to go over for 2026?
Not anything distinctly. Are you guys still comfortable? Are you still comfortable with the 5:30 start time, or do we see any need to adjust it, moving it forward or backwards to better fit someone's upcoming year's work schedule?
I'm good with that unless you've had any other feedback for a different time.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
then there's nothing else from staff unless. with
Okay,
anything.
yeah, so, we've got, another one in December that we can discuss. Anything else that we have for 2026, but other than that, I'm good with it, and just, make sure we're prepared for the new year. Okay? Yes, sir?
Ask a question,
Sure, go ahead.
just to clarify. Did I understand correctly then that the new application will be discussed in January? Is that
The new application for.
for the sign, for the sign?
Was that for the signage?
The freestanding sign is scheduled for that January meeting. There will be specifically January 5th.
Yes.
First
Okay,
Monday.
we'll have more of our folks available to come that day, that'd be good. So,
Okay, sure, yeah, no, yeah, and it will be officially now January 5th,
at
2026,
5:30?
yep.
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
1-5,
Thank you so much.
yep, you're welcome, no problem. Okay, thank you, everybody, have a great night, meeting adjourned. Did you just jump?